Today is May 27, 2026. It is 2:21 a.m. This is video number 2. So today is May 27, 2026. It is 2:22 a.m. This is video number 2. So let's just continue. Alright, let's go on X. So I post that on my community board. Alright, not sure who to credit this image showing Princess Diana snatching her looks back from Willie Macbeth. Oh my god, the squad or something. Whoever made it, and then the squad bought it on X. And this image, he sort of looked like Edward. Oh my god, 1000%. People are laughing. Yes, Mommy D, snatch it off. The squad knows how to make fun. For real, snatch it back. Yes. Zandy, oh, let's pause. I'm laughing at that GIF. Zandy, there are a number of videos with William Macbeth standing up to Camilla, escaping Kensington Palace, trying to improve Willie's image by beating up Camilla. Interesting. Or these recent ones? I don't know. I haven't come across any of this, what this person is making. Who is that? I don't know who's that. Next tweet. Okay, so there's Martin. He's a very good one, squaddy on TikTok, if you are on TikTok, to follow. Okay, watch what they do, not what they say. I say it all the time. Alright, watch what they... Okay, repeating the same thing. 1 minute and 34 seconds.
Morning friends, happy Monday. How the heck you doing? And the major media titles, including the gift that keeps on giving, the Daily Mail, is telling us today that Charles is visiting Sandringham and completely avoiding Andrew. Now, as we know, the press are employed by this family to set the narrative of what we're expected to believe about them, and this is actually the truth. Social media is the new TV channel. It's the new leveler where people can share information and nothing is hidden anymore. The King, Charles, was spotted driving into Wood Farm, which is where Andrew lives. So, I'm not being funny, people. He's not avoiding his shamed or supposedly shamed brother at all. There's further revelations about Andrew that have come out in the press this week. The criminal investigation appears to be progressing, and this guy, instead of speaking up for victims all over the planet, many people are not on this planet anymore. They've chosen to move on to the next life. He would rather go for a cup of tea and biscuits with his supposedly shamed brother than help to get justice for the victims. And that tells you everything and more than I could ever say about this family. That tells you who they are.
These people, they want to normalize that behavior. I have said this so many times. They want to normalize it and have control of people's body, and they could do whatever they want. There's so many level of stuff right now in my lifetime, 2026. The world is fighting right now. So we better get it right for our great-grandkids. Because these people, they live in a world, how do they see this world? Material stuff. They don't really care too much about people but themselves. The only person they care about is themselves, and they want to take control of everything. And material stuff and money, people don't mean anything to them. I don't know any other way I could put this. So whoever the victims are within the Epstein crowd, they don't care. They really don't care. They actually want to continue that behavior. They want to continue it. This is what they're fighting for right now. And then at the same time, while they're fighting for to maintain or to spread that type of behavior, they want to take control of everything, every natural resources, everything that you could think of. They want to be the one who control it. So I feel sorry for the victims, the Epstein victims, because they already did what they need to do. They just want to go to the next victim. They don't care. You see what they even do to children. Oh my God. Let's continue.
Watch what they do, not what they say.
That's
Comments are open. My opinion's not important. Tell the world what you think.
Martin is right. Just watch what they do, not what they say, because they'll give you the nicest words. Okay? They will tell you what you want to hear. You want them to say up? Hey, they'll say up for you. But is that what they really want to do? No, they'll say it and then move on and do the opposite of up. Alright, there's two comments. This is the same man UK media told us could not take a phone call from his son because he had a pending legal matter, and doing so will be improper. However, it's not improper to go see Andrew, who also has a pending legal matter. There's that. This man and his family think they are all above the law. Well, pretty much they are. They've been showing it. He has done the very minimum to look good, but really he has no respect for the law. There it is. You saying they don't care, and they get away with many things. Alright, so there's this here. Let's face it, Margaret had depression, and in the royal family you are not allowed to be depressed. They live in a world where illness was dealt with by going for a long walk, and mental illness was ignored. Alright, let's go to this here.
For years, there were whispers about Margaret's mental health. In 1996, the Irish Times published an article about the princess's experiences with depression. It claimed that she was suicidal during the breakdown of her marriage with Anthony Armstrong Jones in the 1970s. A new biography of Queen Elizabeth II at the time suggested that Margaret's friends were very concerned about her mental health and that she'd had a nervous breakdown in 1974. In 2000, more reports about the princess's mental health surfaced, with claims that she was severely depressed. The palace, however, said that she was ill from having suffered a possible stroke. Royal biographer Andrew Morton believes that the palace did everything in its power to cover up Margaret's mental illness. In his book, Elizabeth and Margaret, The Intimate World of the Windsor Sisters, Morton doesn't mince his words, writing, let's face it,
I hope, I think there's two crowns, the Spanish and which the other one that has two daughters? Is it the Netherlands? I'm not sure. Where the heir and the spare, both Spain and probably Netherlands, I think, I might be wrong, that are two daughters. I hope they learn from the British royal family with Queen Elizabeth and Margaret, so they don't repeat the same nonsense. Let people be. They could still support the crown, but let them live their lives in a respectable way. Controlling who they love and all of that, and then meanwhile the men are doing all those nasty stuff, making the establishment look bad. So again, like I said, Spain and Netherlands, which question mark, who have two daughters as heir and spare, learn from what the Queen Elizabeth and Princess Margaret. So let's continue.
Margaret had depression, and in the royal family, you are not allowed to be depressed. They lived in a world where illness was dealt with by going for a long walk, and mental illness was ignored. For years.
And then they could also learn from Prince Harry as well.
I did anything they told me to do. Of course I did, because it was also through the lens of, and we'll protect you. So even as things started to roll out in the media that I didn't see, but my friends would call me and say, Meg, this is really bad. My mom or my friends or them calling me crying, just like, Meg, they're not protecting you. Because I didn't see it, I'd go, don't worry, I'm being protected. It was all happening just because I was breathing.
You know, that's the thing I keep on saying. They were directing her to the ditch. Directing to the ditch. And she learned, remember, with the lawsuit, where the palace lawyer keep on giving her the runaround. And then she said, F it, she got her own lawyer. And then once she got her own lawyer, they did that campaign. Oh, they'll never win. This and that is a drip, 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 drip.
Is that the case?
No, absolutely not. No, and if we're talking about why this whole, Harry Meghan thing started, it started because several years ago, if you cast your mind back, the Queen was and always will be the most popular royal, but second to that was Harry. It wasn't William and Kate. It was not William and Kate. And when Harry and Meghan became such a popular couple, it put everybody's noses out of joint. The establishment wanted to retain the monarchy as it was, to boost William and Kate, and the media, the Daily Mail and the Telegraph in particular, fed those lines.
Well, I agree with everything until you said the last bit. I think that somebody in the palace decided to take them down a peg or two, and it went too far. Absolutely. But it's all history now, isn't it?
Well, it's not history, because, for instance, if you take the media on, as Dawn will know, you
never win.
If you never win, but the media will always be at war with you, and the Daily Mail does everything drip, 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 poison.
Because they're already scaring you to not pursue it. Meanwhile, I think Charles and what's the sister? Charles' sister, what's her name? Oh my lord, I can't think of her name right now. Okay, have sued the paper for the same reason, for invading her privacy. Alright, so let's continue. And they were scaring her to not pursue it. And then the palace lawyer was giving her the runaround.
I went to the institution and I said that I needed to go somewhere to get help. I said that I've never felt this way before and I need to go somewhere. And I was told that I couldn't, that it wouldn't be good for the institution. And I called to one of the most senior people to get help. They said, my heart goes out to you because I see how bad it is, but there's nothing we can do to protect you because you're not a paid employee of the institution. This wasn't a choice. This was emails and begging for help, saying very specifically, I am concerned.
And we have to give her credit for that. To have, despite all the things, remember she was isolated with only Harry being by her side. Thank God, knock on wood, I never get to that state because I do not know how it feels. But just to think of it, while her mind is saying something and then her true self is fighting it and say, I never felt that way before, let me get help. So this is this needs to be studied. This is why I say psychology is not easy. Wow, that's very tough. And I'm glad she went and spoke up because so people know.
When no one listens to you, or you feel no one's listening to you, all sorts.
Another example as well. There's a huge music in the background, but I think I have that raw without the music. If I found it, I'll put it. I can't even listen to it properly. The music is too loud.
Then I was unwell with postnatal depression, which no one ever discusses postnatal depression. You have to read about it afterwards. And that in itself was a bit of a difficult time. You'd wake up in the morning feeling you didn't want to get out of bed, you felt misunderstood, and just very, very low in yourself.
Was this completely out of character for you?
Yes, very much so. I've never had a depression in my life. But then when I analysed it, I could see that the changes I'd made in the last year had all caught up with me, and my body had said, we want a rest.
What was the family's reaction to your postnatal depression?
Well, maybe I was the first person ever to be in this family who ever had a depression or was ever openly tearful. And obviously that was daunting, because if you've never seen it before, how do you support it?
What effect did the depression have on your marriage?
Well, it gave everybody a wonderful new label. It's Diana's unstable, and Diana's mentally imbalanced. And unfortunately, that seems to have stuck on and off over the years.
There was this weight on my chest that I felt for so many years, and I was never able to cry. So I was constantly trying to find a way to cry, but even sitting on my sofa, and going over as many memories as I could muster up about my mum. And sometimes I watch videos online.
Of your mum?
Of my mum.
Hoping to cry?
Yep.
Wow.
And you couldn't?
I couldn't.
He sought out help from a therapist for the first time 7 years ago and reveals he's also tried more experimental treatments.
You write in the book about psychedelics, ayahuasca, psilocybin, mushrooms.
You know, I would never recommend people to do this recreationally, but doing it with the right people, if you are suffering from a huge amount of loss, grief, or trauma, then these things have a way of working as a medicine.
They showed you something. What did they show you?
For me, they cleared the windscreen, the windshield, the misery of loss. They cleared away this idea that I had in my head that my mother, that I needed to cry to prove to my mother that I missed her, when in fact, all she wanted was for me to be happy.
Wow. Heavy is another one as well. The state of mind.
Mental health in 1996.
To fight it and try to seek help. Okay, always the same stories when you are part of this royal family. Hasn't changed much. They don't have a life, especially since they are managed by parliament, the people, the press, and the voter. Okay, this, can I see it? Royal life was hard for her, always in the shadow of her sister, the queen, especially when she wanted to marry an officer who was linked to the royal household. I think this is talking about Princess Margaret. Their relationship gave rise to rumors. The queen prohibited this marriage with Townsend. Yep, she should have given up her inheritance right due to the rules of the Anglican Church regarding divorce. Especially Townsend was divorced. The British Parliament refused to give consent to Margaret for the union, subjecting her to intense public pressure. That's the thing. They're pretending to be all prestige and that high society level of, I don't know, of respect, but these people are freaking trash. Princess Margaret lived in a different time, the war years, the time when her sister became queen, her uncle abdicated, her life changed. She was a rebel. Princess Diana was very young and she had bulimia. She was lied to by Bashir. Harry was in therapy, as he said in the book. Okay, I don't understand that while Harry was seeing a therapist, while Meghan was pregnant with Archie, he stated so in Australia. He could not help her while she was suicidal at the same time. What the hell? What is it? How can this be explained anyone? Meghan can expose those a-hole, but I just know she's holding back because of Harry and the kids, huh? That's all of that. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, this week I remember the squad were talking about the balcony. What happened to it? So how come no one talks about the balcony anymore? You know, the one Meghan was allegedly going to spend the rest of her life regretting. This is what I mean sometimes. This squad brings some random topic and this squad is bringing that. What happened to the balcony? What's going on? Nobody's talking about it anymore. Notice we don't hear any more about royal display at the Chelsea Flower Show. I thought when they didn't want Camp Fed to have a display, that was supposed to be the end of Harry and Meghan. Original squaddies, if you know, you know. Harry did a flower show. I wasn't really into looking into Harry and Meghan, but I remember talking about it. Alright, so there's this. This is the only balcony that I can recall. The squad like to put it so to enjoy it. So this I'll be showing it in screenshot anyway. Alright, let's pause this. Whatever is here, bottom up. I'm telling you, I have never understand the balcony business. I don't know why. It was a big deal to them standing there and looking down on people. Phew. the balcony and the tiaras. If Meghan cared about those things, she wouldn't have left. I'm telling you. Alright, what time of the year do they usually stand on that balcony like they are from those pre-apocalypse era movies? If Meghan had shown she cared about it, they would have been dangling it like and for them to talk nonsense. Alright, next tweet. The gold digger narrative. Duchess Meghan isn't a gold digger, as some of you are saying. She was successful, independently wealthy in her own right before she ever met Prince Harry. By stepping away from the crown, she definitely proved that she is not. Period. There's that. There's this picture. Look at Harry. He's always an alert. There's this. That was during, I think, a basketball game in the States. Always project what the other is on Meghan. No need to defend such lies. As they say, lies have speed, but truth has endurance. As far as we know, I like this one. Lies have speed, but truth has endurance. It's almost like saying the thing about the marathon thing. Okay, as far as we know, she's the only one who married into that family as a millionaire, yet she's labeled as a gold digger. Camilla was financed by Charles, Kate was financed by her parents, and cokehead uncle. I have the video of the uncle.
He even claims Prince William will soon be a guest at his home, the home he has crudely named Maison de Bang Bang.
Exactly, so there's that. Let me read bottom up and I'll put this on the screen. You could read it yourself. She was definitely not independently wealthy. LOL. Faith on the call sheet for suit doesn't bring Richard. What the hell? Are you freaking kidding me? I mean, you don't become a millionaire out of nowhere, but you have to earn it and work for it. You accumulate. Oh my God. Let's see. There's 6 comments here. Alright, you can go back and forth all day, but the fact is that Meghan brought her own fortune with her when she married Prince Harry. Kate brought her empty hands. End of story. Alright, yeah, she didn't have a fortune, but she, you know what, let me just leave that alone. This needs to be black. There's no reason for me to keep on reading this nonsense. It's well documented. Alright, so there's this. You could pause and read this. I think I read it in one of my comments, one of my videos. Alright, so this is JTB. It's not a video. I think it's a post about Harry. Yeah. Funny how the black sheep they tried to isolate ended up becoming the one with the global respect, the freedom, the family, and the peace. Some people spend their whole lives following the script. Others rewrite it. Prince Harry did exactly that. JTB always have a great way of putting things in perspective. That is true. There's that. The black sheep eventually turns into the goat. Alright. So there's that. If I were to use this on another platform, who should be credited? Let me see. Let's see. Probably JTB. I don't see the comment. But that's that. I mean, it's public. I share so many things online on my community board. I don't know. Harry was always destined for greatness. Diana knew that. He is the GOAT. Alright, so that's that. Let's go to the next tweet. I have one more and then I'll do another video. Alright, no particular reason for posting this other than the fact that I just love this couple. There's another thing as well. The squad bring random pictures and then create a conversation. There's that. Harry has got some moves. Prince Harry was too happy to marry his wife Meghan Sussex 8 years later. There they are here. The GOAT. Alright. They don't give a F and I love it. We're going to have a blast because we are truly in love, unlike his other family and loveless marriages. There's that. They also had. Okay, so that's a different language. Alright, so this is my last tweet. This is regarding Paula Abdul. I didn't even know there was an award show this past Sunday. So someone posted this and I'm sharing it with you. The Wag at Daily Mirror caught Paula Abdul on the red carpet of the American Music Awards Sunday night and asked her about Meghan Markle using her song and hers in Prince Harry's 8th anniversary post. They didn't get the response they were probably looking for. Let's listen. 44 seconds.
Alright, Miss Paula Abdul, I know that Meghan Markle recently used your song Forever Your Girl as a soundtrack to her wedding anniversary photos. What do you think about her using your music for such a special moment?
I first needed to look at it 3 or 4 times to make sure I wasn't making this up in my mind. And then it's like, I never...
By the way, it's very low. I'm gonna enlarge the caption for you guys so you could see it, and I'll try to make it as loud as possible for you.
She gave me for granted. I'm always pinching myself when things like this happen. And I was so touched, honored, and a smile on my face. It was happy. It's nice to know that, and you never know this, that your music can carry a legacy and have lasting impressions and memories, good memories. It's good.
Yeah, I'm glad she said it like that, because many people, sometimes when the music is old and, you know, majority of the public tend to forget about it, and when something like what Meghan did, put it out there like that, similar to LL Cool J music that she put out like last year or something, and it revives it, and guess what, it's more money for the, usually, almost always, the artist or whoever owned the music get a incentive for it, because people wants to listen to it, they download it and all of that. So that's another thing, to revive her, put her back onto the conversation again. Alright, she's very popular. People may not know that, but in the 80s and 90s, she was one of the it people. Alright, so yeah, let's get back to the original recording. First of all, she looks very good for her age. How old is she? She's probably 60. Let's look it up. I was close. She's 63. Oh my God, she's June 19 too? I didn't know that. She was born June 19. Alright, she's gonna be 64 soon. Okay, I'm June 19. She's June 19. Bojo's June 19. Wow. 1962. From Fernando, California. She doesn't have any kids? Let me pause and search. No, she doesn't have any. No, Paula Abdul does not have any children. I guess things didn't work out for her. She probably have tons of nieces and nephews. Let me pause again. I asked, does Paula Abdul have nieces and nephews? Yes, Paula Abdul has an older sister named Wendy, and through her, she has a niece and a nephew. She has publicly expressed how proud she is of her nephews. Okay. Alright, whatever the reason may be, I hope she's happy. That's her choice. Anyway, so that's that. There's no comment. 24 seconds. Okay, let's do a prayer. The last prayer that I did in the video was for sympathy. Let's look for an image. I don't want something too long. Okay, thanking God for his living hope and thinking of you with caring prayers and your loss. Okay, why? Okay, sympathy. Let's pick something else. Let's say for love instead of sympathy. I want something short. Maybe that one, the first one. You are loved. Father, I can comprehend how much you love me. Your love goes with me into the deep dark places where I feel like I'm drowning in difficulty. Lord, thank you for loving me so much that you committed not to let me face life's challenges alone. Please help me to keep in mind just how great your love is for me. Amen. Alright, so that is it. Please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. If you want to support this channel, there's a PayPal link and a Cash App link in the description. You could donate. Those who have donated, thank you. I might do another video. It might be short. We're gonna these have nothing to do with politics, with Harry and Meghan, but a little bit of politics here and there. 2, 4, 5. It's 5 of them. The next one we're gonna start with this. Okay, JTB brought this up. It has nothing to do with Harry and Meghan. Okay, so that'll be on the next video. Thank you for watching.
Savanaka. It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
You know, we ask for forgiveness and please come back.